Have you ever dreamed of owning a Harley but thought, no way, that's way too expensive? Well, guess what? Some of these bikes are literally collecting dust in showrooms right now. Dealers are begging to get rid of them, prices are dropping like crazy, and your dream Harley might finally be up for grabs. So what makes these Harleys so overlooked? And why are dealers slashing prices to move them? Some are hidden gems with untapped potential, while others simply miss the mark. Either way, if you've been waiting for the right time to buy, this could be your moment. Let's take a closer look at 7 Harleys that might just surprise you and find out what really put them on the clearance list. Number 1. Harley Davidson Switchback. The Harley Davidson Switchback was sold with a smart idea. It was supposed to mix the simple, cool style of a cruiser with the comfort and features of a touring bike. It promised that riders could easily switch between 2 very different types of riding. 1 minute, you could cruise around town looking sharp, and the next, you could hit the highway ready for a long trip. At the heart of the Switchback was the twin-cam 103 engine. It gave 102 pound-feet of torque, which meant it had strong power for both city streets and open highways. Its biggest feature was how easily it could change. You could take off the saddlebags and windshield in minutes, turning it from a travel bike into a sleek city ride. The Switchback cost $16,499 when it first came out. It was cheaper and easier to handle than some of Harley's bigger bikes like the Road King or the Street Glide. Because it wasn't too heavy and had a low seat, it was great for riders who might be nervous about riding something huge. It was meant to be a bike that could do a little bit of everything without being too expensive or too bulky. But the Switchback had a hard time being great at either of its jobs. As a cruiser, people thought it was too heavy and didn't handle as well as other Harley bikes like the Softail Slim. The back of the bike, which was made to hold the saddlebags, looked clunky when the bags were off. This made the cruiser version look less clean or cool. As a touring bike, it didn't have much space for storage, and it missed important features like a big screen or a built-in radio system. Riders who wanted to take long trips felt it didn't offer enough comfort or tools. The suspension was another problem. It tried to mix soft and firm for all kinds of roads, but it ended up feeling too stiff for long rides. Riders often said it was uncomfortable on bumpy roads. That made it a bad choice for people who wanted a comfy touring bike. In the end, the Switchback didn't fully please fans of cruisers or people who wanted to travel far. Because of this, dealers had a hard time selling the Switchback. Traditional Harley fans went for bikes that were more focused, while new riders often chose other brands like the Indian Scout that felt more like true cruisers. That left lots of Switchbacks sitting on the sales floor. They became an example of how hard it is to make a do-it-all motorcycle that truly works. But today, this lack of identity might actually help you. If you want a Harley that can do both city and highway riding and you want a good price, the Switchback might be your best bet. But what about an icon, a supposed entry point to a legendary brand that found itself priced out of reach for beginners and underpowered for veterans? Number 2. Harley Davidson Sportster 883 Iron. The Harley Davidson Sportster Iron has always been seen as the first step into the Harley Davidson world. It looked tough, clean, and simple, just the way many new riders wanted it. The design felt raw and rebellious, matching Harley's famous image. Plus, it was small and easy to handle, which made it a smart choice for people who were just starting out and didn't want to spend too much. The bike used the air-cooled Evolution engine, giving it 53 horsepower and 54 pound-feet of torque. It wasn't the fastest, but it was strong enough for riding around town or going on short trips. The design included blacked-out parts, a single seat, seat, and low handlebars, which gave it a cool and edgy style. Still, the 8 Iron came with some problems. Its gas tank only held 3.3 gallons, so riders had to stop often for fuel during long rides. The suspension looked cool, but wasn't very comfortable. You could feel every bump in the road, which made longer trips hard on your back and arms. Also, some riders felt like the engine didn't have enough power, especially when trying to pass cars on the highway. And even though it had style, other Harley bikes like the Softail Standard gave more power for the same price. Other brands, like the Indian Scout 60 or the Yamaha Bolt, also gave riders more features, better performance, and lower prices. With a price of $9,999, the 883 iron didn't fit well. It was too expensive for many beginners and not powerful enough for riders who wanted more. That made it harder for dealers to sell them. Over time, more and more irons stayed unsold, mostly getting attention from people who loved its old-school look or wanted to fix it up as a hobby. If you're someone who wants a classic-looking bike for riding around town and don't mind giving up comfort or power, you might find a used Iron 883 today for a price that makes it a great deal. Number 3. Harley Davidson FXDR 114. The Harley Davidson FXDR was introduced as a bold, uncompromising, and modern muscle cruiser, blending drag racing aesthetics with cutting-edge engineering. At its heart was the Milwaukee 8 114 engine, delivering 119 pound-feet of torque and 100 horsepower. The FXDR was designed as a performance-focused motorcycle for riders demanding both raw power and unconventional style. The bike's aggressive styling immediately set it apart. It featured an aluminum swing arm, composite fenders, and a massive 240mm rear tire. The FXDR looked like it belonged on a drag strip rather than a city street. Its forward foot controls and wide handlebars emphasized its performance-inspired design, while lightweight components contributed to improved handling compared to heavier Harley cruisers. However, the FXDR faced challenges in gaining market acceptance. Many traditional Harley-Davidson riders found its angular modern design too far removed from the brand's iconic look. The forward-leaning riding position, while suitable for short bursts of speed, was reported as uncomfortable for longer rides, limiting its practicality. With a starting price of $18,999, the FXDR also competed against other performance cruisers. Competitors like the Indian Scout Bobber and Yamaha VMAX offered similar or unique performance characteristics, sometimes at more accessible prices, making the FXDR's value proposition a harder sell. Another issue was its niche appeal. The FXDR was neither a traditional cruiser nor a pure sport bike, leaving it in an awkward position. Dealers reported difficulties moving FXDR inventory as it struggled to attract a broad audience. While it remains a unique and visually striking model, its polarizing design and limited versatility hindered its success. If you find one languishing, its unique looks and potent engine can now be had for a fraction of its original ambition. But what of a Harley that dared to tread where no Harley had before, only to find the path rockier than anticipated by even the most adventurous souls? Number 4. Harley Davidson Pan America Special. The Harley Davidson Pan America Special represented Harley's audacious attempt to enter the adventure touring market, a segment traditionally dominated by brands like BMW and KTM. This motorcycle was designed to be a versatile, rugged machine, capable of tackling everything from paved highways to challenging off-road trails. It was a massive departure for a brand synonymous with cruisers. At the heart of the Pan America Special is the liquid-cooled Revolution Max 1250 engine, delivering an impressive 150 horsepower and 94 pound-feet of torque. The Pan America Special stands out with innovative features, most notably the optional adaptive ride height system, which automatically lowers the seat height when the bike stops, making it more accessible. The bike also boasts a 6.8-inch touchscreen with navigation, customizable ride modes, heated grips, and an adjustable windscreen. Its robust, electronically adjustable suspension makes it well-suited for varied terrains. Despite these cutting-edge features, the Pan America Special faced skepticism upon release. Many adventure riders were hesitant to trust Harley Davidson, a brand with little history in the adventure bike market. Some early adopters reported issues with low-speed handling, electronics glitches, and a polarizing design that didn't resonate universally. These initial setbacks made it difficult for the Pan America Special to compete effectively against established models like the BMW GS series or KTM Super Adventure lineup. Another challenge was its price. With a starting price of $19,999 for the special model, it was competitively priced for its class, but still a significant investment for riders unsure of Harley's reliability in this new category. Dealers struggled to convince traditional Harley customers and seasoned adventure riders to take a chance on this first-generation model. While the Pan America Special has since gained a following and improved its reputation, its early struggles left many initial units unsold or heavily discounted. This highlights the challenges of breaking into a new, competitive market. For the discerning buyer today, a low-mileage early model Pan America Special could represent a technologically advanced adventure bike with unique character, available at a price that undercuts its original sticker. Imagine a motorcycle built to be a rebel, a modern brawler, yet it ended up fighting itself for an identity, leaving buyers confused and dealers with excess stock. Number 5. Harley Davidson Fat Bob 107. The Harley Davidson Fat Bob was introduced as a bold, assertive departure from Harley's traditional cruiser designs. With its muscular stance, chunky tires, and modern styling, the Fat Bob aimed to capture a new audience while staying true to the brand's performance heritage. Powering this machine is Harley's Milwaukee 807 engine, delivering 92 horsepower and 112 pound-feet of torque, offering plenty of power for city rides and highway cruising. The Fat Bob's design immediately sets it apart. Its most distinctive feature is its wide rectangular LED headlight, a break from traditional round lamps. Combined with wide front forks and aggressive dual exhaust pipes, it has a rugged, industrial aesthetic. Performance-oriented components like inverted front forks and dual disc front brakes ensure responsive handling and strong stopping power. However, this modern design proved polarizing. Many traditional Harley riders criticized the bike's styling, particularly the rectangular headlight, as too unconventional and out of sync with the brand's heritage. The Fat Bob's relatively stiff suspension and aggressive seating position were also points of contention, especially for riders looking for long-distance comfort. With a starting price of $16,999, the Fat Bob faced tough competition. Models like the Indian Chief, Bobber Dark Horse, and Triumph Speedmaster offered comparable performance with designs that appealed to a broader audience. Furthermore, the Fat Bob's small 3.2-gallon fuel tank limited its touring potential, frustrating riders wanting longer adventures. Dealers reported difficulties moving Fat Bob inventory, particularly as other models in Harley's Softail lineup offered more traditional styling or greater comfort. While the Fat Bob remains an eye-catching and powerful motorcycle, its polarizing design and niche appeal made it a challenging sell. Its inability to fully win over traditionalists or capture a massive new audience means you can often find these bruisers available for significantly less than their original asking price. Number 6. Harley Davidson V-Rod. The Harley Davidson V-Rod stands as one of the most ambitious and controversial motorcycles ever created by Harley. Developed in collaboration with Porsche, the V-Rod was introduced as a high-performance power cruiser that broke away from Harley's traditional air-cooled designs. It was a statement of innovation. At its heart was the liquid-cooled Revolution engine, delivering 120 horsepower and 84 pound-feet of torque in later iterations. This engine propelled the V-Rod from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 3 seconds. The V-Rod's futuristic design was equally striking, with its aluminum frame, drag-style handlebars, and massive rear tire. It had a bold, aggressive appearance, Harley's attempt to compete with performance cruisers from other brands. Despite its advanced engineering and unique style, the V-Rod struggled to find its place. Traditional Harley riders were turned off by its high-revving engine and quiet exhaust note, which lacked the signature rumble. The bike's relatively small 3.7-gallon fuel tank limited its range, requiring frequent refueling on long rides. Priced at $17,149 for some popular iterations, the V-Rod was a tough sell for riders seeking traditional Harley value. While it appealed to a niche audience of performance enthusiasts, it failed to resonate with the broader Harley community. It was too different, too radical. Dealers faced challenges marketing the V-Rod as it didn't fully align with Harley's brand identity. Today, the V-Rod remains a polarizing model, admired by some for its innovation but overlooked by many. It serves as a reminder of the risks of pushing boundaries. Because they never sold in huge numbers, finding one dirt cheap might be harder, but dealers holding old stock might be keen to negotiate on these unique, discontinued machines. Finally, consider a top-tier tourer loaded with power and tech that aimed for the enthusiast's heart but hit their wallet a little too hard, leaving it yearning for the open road from the confines of the showroom. Number 7. Harley Davidson Street Glide ST. The Harley Davidson Street Glide ST was built to mix powerful performance with the comfort of long-distance travel. It was made to give riders the best of both worlds by combining speed and touring features into one sharp-looking bike. It came straight from the factory as a custom bagger with both style and muscle. The bike runs on the Milwaukee 8117 engine, which gives a strong 106 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. That makes it one of the most powerful touring motorcycles Harley Davidson has ever made. With its smooth batwing fairing, long stretch saddlebags, and shiny dark bronze details, the Street Glide ST really catches your eye. It was built for riders who love both speed and long road trips. The frame was adjusted to improve how the bike handles turns, and the back suspension was lowered to make it look more aggressive. It also came with the 7-inch Boom Box GTS infotainment system, which included navigation, phone connection, music, and more. The bike had strong Brembo brakes and Harley's Reflex defensive rider system to keep riders safe. But even with all these cool parts and powerful specs, the Street Glide ST ran into a few problems. The biggest issue was its high price. At $29,999, it was too expensive for many people to even consider. Also, while the bike is great for riders who want top performance, it gave up some of the comfort and practical features that other touring bikes offer. The stiff suspension helped the bike take corners better, but it also made long rides feel rough. Compared to other touring bikes in Harley's lineup, this one wasn't as comfortable for big trips. The Street Glide ST also had to fight for attention inside Harley's own lineup. For example, the Road Glide Special had almost the same power, but came with a frame-mounted fairing, which some riders prefer for riding at high speeds. Other brands also brought the heat. Bikes like the Indian Challenger or the BMW K6 offered strong performance and sometimes even better features or lower prices. Dealers had a hard time finding the right way to sell the Street Glide ST. It was made for a small group of riders who wanted high performance, but the price and lack of full touring comfort made it tough to recommend. Because of that, many bikes didn't sell right away. Some needed big discounts to get riders interested. But now, that could be your chance. If you want one of the fastest touring Harleys and don't mind looking for a used or leftover model, you might score a great deal on the Street Glide ST. Which of these unsung heroes are you now eyeing for your garage? Do these dealer can't sell models represent true bargains or just cautionary tales? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights into the motorcycle world. Thanks for watching, ride safe, and may your next Harley be a steal of a deal.